Hey guys, today we're going to be doing something really special. We're going to be using our CO2 laser engraving cabinet and we're going to be making something for a customer that he thought was going to be very special for his spouse. It was the first time that they went on their dates before they got together, and we're going to be using a star chart to represent it, and we're going to engrave it on some wood. We're going to stain it and then give it a final touch to it, and hopefully it's going to be good enough for what he's envisioning for his lady. Now I think it's quite a cool thing that we're going to be doing, and I want to take you from start to finish. So let's start with our artwork. Alright, so I've already got my star chart here, which was provided to me by the customer. The first thing I need to do is get it ready to actually convert into a file that the laser program will accept, which today will be a DXF. So the first thing I want to do is I've got text that I need to copy here. Since this text is a bit too small, and as you can see it's a bit blurry there, I'm going to need to retype this into a more clearer font so that the program can actually see it, and then we're going to invert this and then create it into a DXF. We can go ahead and now make the overall text smaller so that it fits to size. Have a look. That is perfect. I wanted it slightly bigger than it currently is, so let's move that up, and that is now done. So now what we need to do is turn our original image, which I'm going to cut off over here. We're going to turn this original image into vice versa. I want all the white to be black so that we can actually vectorize this. So what we're going to go do is go over to image, and we're going to invert. And there we have it. So now, as you can see, all of our white is turned into black and vice versa. So now we want to take away all of this other white, because it's not really white, it's a completely different color. Go ahead, select it and delete it, so now that it's all one white and one background. I'm not looking for massive detail here because it's going to be a smaller item. It's not necessary to go very detailed, but what I want to do is make all of the black slightly thicker so that our engraving program can actually pick it up, and so that it is actually engraving something thick enough and not too small and thin. Otherwise you won't be able to see any of it. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to turn that into a flat image, and once we've done that we're going to go to our settings again, and we're going to give it an overlay. Color overlay, and then once you've done that, you'll see all those gaps that we had are now completely filled in and no longer white, and that is perfect. The last thing I want to do is just change our circle around the edge, purely because I want it to be a bit more crisp. That I, for myself, want to be that bit more perfect than the rest of it. The rest of it can be a bit blurry, but in this instance I want that to be the correct and sharpness level for engraving. Otherwise you will see it because it's a much thicker line than the rest of it. So there we've got it. There's my shape. Now I just need to pull it over and make sure it's a little bit thicker than our original one. Now that I'm completely finished with what I'm doing and I've made sure that my background is a PNG, we now need to turn this into a DXF. That means we need to vectorize it. So I'm going to be using Illustrator. Now I've put them side by side. So now that that's open, we can now just make this artwork board bigger to fit what we are doing. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead, select our image, just move that over. Okay, so we're going to go to black and white logo. So go back to our Photoshop. We want to select our wording. We're going to copy it. We're going to come here and we're going to paste it. So now we need to make a border. So we're going to go back to our shaping tools and we're going to go for a rounded edge. and then we are going to make an actual border for this. Doesn't need to be exactly on the same place. Now remember, we don't want anything in between, but we do want a stroke, and we're going to leave this at 1 millimeter, which is perfect. Let's just regroup everything, group it. Now we're going to put it onto a new page, just in case there's anything hiding in the background that we don't need, and that is perfect. So now I've got it selected. We now need to export as a DXF. So now that we've got our HardyWorks program open already, we just need to go File, Import, find the artwork that we've just saved as a DXF. Now that it's imported, now we can start having a look at it and see what exactly we want to do what and where. So in this case, I'm going to select the outer piece or outer line to be cut, and then the rest of it I'm going to have engraved. So I'm going to change the outer line, which I did on purpose, to purple, and then we're going to leave purple to be the last layer, as you see it selected on over there. We want the black to be engraved, so we're going to change that to scan. I'm changing this to 500 millimeters per second, and our power I'm going to go 65 and make sure it's the same for all of them. My internal, which is the distance between each engraving, either you can make the gap bigger or you can make it smaller, but the best one to choose is 0.1 or 0.2 in my opinion, and that is for my 150 watt CO2 laser. And the power I'm going to leave as is, like I've changed there. So we're going to say OK, because everything else needs to stay the same. Now we need to go ahead and double click on our changed purple layer, which is going to change to cut. So we go ahead and we push cut, and now we need to change that to 20 millimeters per second, and we're going to change this to 55% power, and that way I'll make sure that it's going to cut through without me worrying about if the sheet is flat, and at least now it's going to cut through all the way. And then we're going to leave all the other settings as is, and we're going to say OK. So now that we've done that, you must understand that whatever's on the inside of our cut line is all going to be engraved, which is exactly what we want. But we just need to test whether or not it's actually going to work. So let's go ahead and we're going to select a layer, and as you see it turns red. If we go ahead and delete it and it disappears, that means that we've got no duplication of any layers in this area. And you can just test it by clicking on things and pushing delete. And if you come across an item where you think that it might be duplicated, just go ahead and push delete. I've done everything I need to. I am now happy with my settings. We're going to go ahead, move to the laser, prepare it and load the wood so we can start doing our job. And there we go guys, it is completed and we are finished inside our laser now. And from just looking at it, even though it is very dirty, we just need to clean it up. My first impressions are that even though it's dirty, it worked, and it worked really well. As I said, the clarity of your artwork when it comes to looking at the star chart, again, it needs to be cleaned, but it doesn't really matter that much, purely because all we're doing is looking for its basic shapes and outlines of the time and place that they had their first date, which is really what we're trying to capture here, and that's what makes a difference. So we're going to go ahead, clean it up, and see whether or not we need to go ahead and stain it. If we don't, we're going to leave it as it is, and then it's completely finished.